Thank you so much. It's such an honour to be here, and I'm so thrilled to be part of the Kenya season and part of this symposium, which is one of the highlights of the Kenya season. We're here today with speakers and case studies from 16 countries around the world, and of course, with a digital audience, there'll be people from many more countries around the world that are tuning in and learning and sharing with us these important stories. And this Kenya season, I think, has been one of the most exciting seasons the British Council have seen and worked on, together with the teams here who lead and the other teams in London. And not only because of the work, the great work of Kenya artists and creatives, which you can see here, as you've heard, until November, but you can also see them if you're listening and tuning in from the UK, and indeed for tourists and people from around the world at Venice, at the Biennale, which is celebrating architecture this year. There is one of the best contributions that we have seen in the history of the British Pavilion in Venice, which is a takeover, in effect, a co-creation by Kenyan artists, creatives and architects, working alongside British team members for 3 years to come up with something that tells Kenyan stories in the heart of Venice. It's won the second prize of the most prestigious arts festival in the world, and we should celebrate that achievement. I thank you all. So, just as in Venice, they are digging in, these people who've come from around the world to Venice, they are digging in and discovering the stories that come from the heritage, the country, the roots of Kenya and Kenyan people. So we today are looking at some of the important cases and ways in which we can protect heritage with the help of the Cultural Protection Fund, whose work you can see, as you've heard, up in the courtyard. And the important thing for all of us is that that model of co-design, of co-care, of working on important heritage sites with community members, of empowering and upskilling community members to help us preserve heritage that is vital, a vital part of their community and their history, but also heritage that we, all of us, share. I learnt yesterday about this wonderful project, which you will know about, on Lake Turkana, which is a 1.5 million year old footprints, hominid footprints, from your ancestors, from all of our ancestors, 1.5 million years. That's right at the start of human heritage and culture. And such an extraordinary thing that the British Council, with the help of the Department of Culture, Media and Sport in the UK, has been proud to work with you to preserve those footprints so that everyone, all our descendants, can enjoy and understand and share in the journey that those footprints started. It's a great achievement, I think, to be able to ensure that, thanks to the local communities, now this can be a tourist place, but most important, a place where the community themselves can be reminded of their heritage. We learnt yesterday in the opening, and thanks to Mo Kubai, of course, heritage, which for many of us we think of as being just the past, but heritage is a living memory, and it's our duty to make sure that that memory stays alive. And that's where the second focus of this conference is so important, which is that we are in a digital age, and that we now have tools where we can help not just to preserve physical heritage, but most particularly, I feel, to preserve intangible heritage. So that's the heritage that exists only in the minds of people, that is handed down to us from our descendants. It's our traditional dances, it's our music, it's the ways in which we communicate through art and through culture, which is the central motorway, if you like, of what makes us a community, what makes our culture and our identity. And now we have a way to use digital tools to help artists and creatives and community members to preserve and to continue the growth of our culture. The British Council published a fantastic report, which you'll find online, which is called why technology needs artists. And it's a series of essays by technology leaders, tech leaders, artists, creatives, that give us, I think, some good ideas. Of course, we're going to be talking over the next few days about the threat of AI, the threats that digitization poses. But I want us to remember that every threat is also an opportunity, and that if we come together and if we trust our own expertise, the expertise of all of you in this room, the expertise of culture leaders, heritage leaders, artists and creatives and community leaders, we're going to find creative solutions which digitization and digital tools can use to save our languages, to save our living heritage, both the physical heritage and the intangible heritage. So thank you so much for today, and I'm delighted now to hand over to Your Excellencies.